araw, how lovely is your dwelling place? Jesus ng aking buhay. Paano ba nagiging relatable o nagiging takbuhan ng libo-libong mga tao itong awiting ito na nagsasalita sa mga puso ng mga nakikinig? Halina't pakinggan si Father Arnel Aquino of the Society of Jesus dito sa episode ng Mama's Boys. Kasama ako, si Mr. Romar Chuka. Maayong adlaw sa inyong tanan. This is Romar Chuka for Mama's Boys at kasama natin ang isa sa mga composers ng Jesuit Music Ministry, si Father Arnel Aquino. Father, mag-hello ka po sa ating billions of viewers.
Billions of viewers.
We aspire.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Maayong adlaw sa inyong tanan. Father Arnel po.
So, kaya ako nagbibisaya, yung roots niyo, Father, is you are from...
I was born in Davao, but my parents are Tagalog. So, Batangueña mom and Caviteño dad.
So, halo-halo?
Tapos pinanganak na ako sa Davao. So, Tagalog kami sa bahay, pero sa school, pati sa everywhere.
Pero, ever since po, yung influence po, you are a Jesuit, di ba? Pero yung influence po ng mga Jesuits in your life has been there ever since?
Yes, Ateneo de Davao.
And
they were the only priests that I knew. Sa pagsisimba namin sa parokya, hindi ko alam na may difference pala yun. Pero yung mga pare na exposed ako, yung mga Jesuita.
Pero yung pag-aaral nyo po sa it was grade school.
Yes.
Grade school, high school.
Grade school, high school sa Ateneo de Davao. Tapos Ateneo de Manila College na.
So yung in terms of the life of faith, paano po na-ingrain sa inyo bilang bata po, Father?
Kasi very religious ang mami, ang lola, ang uncle. So, simba every Sunday. Tapos sakristan ako from grade school to high school. Tapos malapit sa mga Jesuita sa high school. Kaya I guess doon. Tapos bumibisita sa Jesuit residence sa Ateneo.
Bakit po bumibisita, Father?
Makikipagkaibigan sa mga Jesuit namin teachers. Kita namin yung buhay. Tapos pinapakain kami doon.
Masarap naman po yung pagkain.
Masarap yung pagkain. Di ba usually yun yung kanilang come on sa vocation seminar?
Of course.
Pakainin mo ng mabuti.
Of course.
Because vocation comes from the stomach.
Yeah, I remember parang salad nga ang pinakain po sa amin noon na nag-Jesuit vocation seminar pa po. It's through the stomach po talaga. Ano ba yung favorite nyo na kinakain po, Father?
Kahit ano. Hindi ko na maalala.
Pero in terms of yung sa inyong formation po, Father, going into the priesthood, ever since po nung bata po kayo, you had this desire? Kasi di ba Ignatius talks about desire po and nagsisimula yan minsan sa ako, parang in terms of desire, yung nagsilbi po ako sa simbahan kasi may nakita akong cute na girl, tapos eventually naging choir, etc. Kayo po, ano po yung parang God led you to this, God showed you this way po?
It was a grade school teacher who was a former seminarian who he left the seminary and he became our teacher in religion. He's a very, very good person. And I knew from him that he was a former seminarian and I listened to his stories about life in the seminary. Hindi ko na maalala, Romar. Parang ganun yun, di ba? When you experience something tragic or something inspirational, you don't remember what was said, but you remember how that made you feel. So I kind of felt very consoled by his stories and the pictures that he showed me. And so I think that was the very seed. And then when I was in the same year, I was in grade 6 then.
Yeah.
I was member of the school yearbook. And for us to write captions on the picture for the pictures, the club moderators took us to a seminary, the Regional Seminary of Davao. And it was a beautiful place. It was very quiet. And then the rector there took us on a tour of the rooms in the seminary, including the bedrooms of the seminarians. And I saw the sutanas hanging by their beds, and it was a very, very quiet place. And from there, it grew. Those were the very first moments that I remember that a vocation somehow was planted.
Ito po ba yung remase? Okay.
Sa Katulunan Grande. Yes.
So, kabalo ko kay daghan ng mga pari nga gikan sa Mindanao na gikan sa remase. So, yeah, just to context, marunong din po ako magbisaya, kaya nakapag-bisaya din ng saglit. So, yun po yung nag-start po na sa inyong vocation. Paano nagpadayon? Paano siya nagpatuloy po, Father? How did God lead you to nung high school din po ba? Nagkaroon? And then college po?
Yes. All throughout high school, I was considering religious life. Tapos moderator ko sa fourth year high school, si Father Louis David, who invited me to my first vocation seminar in Davao. And there, I learned about the Jesuits and parang talagang learned about them. Their history, Jesuit persons, saints, and all the more I was attracted. But I usually, whenever I tell my vocation story, Romar, that's a positive side. The negative side is I wanted to leave home.
Leave home from, ano po?
Leave the home because I came from I did not come from a very, very perfect and very happy family. And I grew up with my mom and dad having a very difficult marriage. And as I was growing up and I was in high school, I was the one who was talking sense into them, especially when they had fights. And then one of my impure motives, what you call impure motives, was I just want to leave home and be quiet and lead a quiet life. And so that was the quote-unquote impure motivations of entering religious life. But the more positive was I loved being in church.
It was a home po?
Yes. It was like solace. It was like Bethany, yes. Whether or not there was Mass, I liked being in the parish church and the chapel in Ateneo de Manila, Ateneo de Davao. And I just liked sitting there, or hear the songs, or smell the smell of candles and incense. Yun.
Grabe, para akong, you're also bringing me back po as Father sa, yung parang moments of solace. Kasi gano'n naman talaga eh, minsan sa sobrang ingay ng mundo ngayon, parang kailangan ng mga tao ng yung the Blessed Sacrament.
Right.
Yeah, just to be there.
Kung may, di ba sabi nila, Romar, pag may addiction ka, kunyari, mainom. If you want to celebrate, inom ka. If you're sad, inom ka. Para sa akin, simbahan. Kung masaya ako, pupunta ako sa simbahan. Kung malungkot ako at nagagalit ako o kay pagod na ako sa pag-aayos ng away ng mga magulang ko, simbahan din yung tuloy. So, wala, parang baka ganun yung the same mechanism. And then, siguro, throughout your formative years as a Jesuit father, meron ba bang mga key people who really were instrumental, pun intended, sa iyong pagiging who you are right now as a Jesuit sa iyong formative life? Well, nakagisnan kong mga religious sa bahay namin, ang mommy. Whether or not she understood the faith deeply, regardless of that, she was very religious and she always turned to prayer. In sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer. And my teacher in grade 6, Mr. Tony Dilla, who's now in heaven, Louis David, who was my vocation promoter, and Romar, yung mga tao. I love the feel of people around me praying in church. I love going to processions. And these are ordinary people who have God as your only solace. So, yan.
Yung parang tinatakbuhan po si Lord, no?
Kasi wala na silang matakbuhan. Parang ako, nun, di ba? Wala nang matakbuhan eh. So, pare-pareho kami tumatakbo sa Diyos.
I think a lot of people can also relate to that, Father, given na yun nga, parang, again, napakaingay ng mundo. And then, kailangan may tatakbuhan at may tatakbuhan. So, in terms of, so you had your parents, you had your mom, no, who was also pero yung sa iyong pagka-novice po, I usually ask this to Jesuit friends din po, Father. Yung sa novice, pwede po bang malaman lang if pwede nyo makwento yung kasi meron yung Jesuit trials na was there something na parang notable na pwede nyo ma-share about what happened dun sa inyong Jesuit trials na perhaps ito yung nag-challenge sa inyo na sige ay magpadayon ko sa pagiging Jesuitam.
Pinakamahirap na experiences ko sa novitiate Jesuit trials. Yung first trial sa Kulyon, lami man dito kay nindot man sa Kulyon.
So, lami kay White Sun, Isla.
That's nothing. But the next ones, talagang urban trial sa Tondo, factory trial sa Levi's, hospital trial sa Leprosarian, Tala, and then a second trial sa National Orthopedic Hospital. Lisod kayang hirap-hirap. Pero alam mo, Romar, never akong dinatnan na parang kaya ko ba to? Alam ko kasi na may katapusan. 1 month, 1 month and a half. I knew it was going to end soon, and I knew that it was going to build character. So there was no moment when I felt, this is not for me, this is not worth it. Pero mahirap. Kahirapan. Kaya pag sinasabi nila, Romar, di ba masaya ang novitiate mo? Gusto mo bang bumalik? If you were to live your life again, would you go back to the novitiate? No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I'd live my Jesuit life. I would still choose to be a Jesuit, but I'd still teach in the classroom and celebrate Mass in church, but not go back to novitiate kasi ang hirap. Yeah.
In terms of yung assignments as a priest, teacher po palagi ever since, Father?
Oo eh. Oo eh.
Ano pong subject, if I may?
Religion and English.
Nagturo po kayo sa Ateneo High School, no?
De Davao,
Ateneo.
De Manila, Cebu. Tatlong Ateneo.
For Regency po yun?
Yung before I entered the Jesuits, I taught for 3 years in Davao High School. Bumalik ako sa high school ko. Turo ako ng 3 taon.
Alright.
Regency De Manila, 2 taon.
Ito po, English or CLE, Christian?
Both.
Both.
Tapos, before ordination, nagturo ako ng 2 years sa Ateneo de Cebu. Sa puro teacher, nga. Realized, yeah.
Pero in terms of yung sa pagiging teacher nyo, sa palagay nyo po, may mga estudyante na po kayong parang, kasi diba, as a teacher, minsan may mga alala kang mga senaryo, no? Ito yung mga makukulit ng mga student, pero parang nagbago eventually. May mga ganun po ba kayo mga na-experience na, or any notable students perhaps na, or experiences as a teacher po?
Alam mo, Romar, ang isang notable student na naalala ko, si Robbie Paraan. So, moderating class ko siya, si Father Robbie Paraan.
Sa Ateneo High School?
Ateneo High School, Regency ko. Tapos, nagulat ako. Nagulat na hindi. Kasi Robbie Paraan has always been very intelligent but very quiet. Ayun. Tapos, hindi ko alam kung vows na yon. Inimbita niya ako sa vows or something. Sabi niya sa akin, Father Arnel, di ko alam kung entrance day, pero sabi niya sa akin, Father Arnel, I invite you to vows or entrance day, but I'd like you to know that you were not the one who influenced me to be a Jesuit, ha?
I-clarify niya po talaga.
Na hindi ako yung sahilan. Okay, fine.
At least may detachment na. Dun pa lang po sa simula.
I wasn't even thinking that I was the one who influenced him, but he had to clarify that for some reason.
Ang galing po. Isang curious question po, and bilang ito po yung mga karanasan na meron po kayo, Father Arnel. Prayer, no? Solace, gratitude, and then yung just you being in the church. Yung takbuhan na sinabi niyo po. Ano po yung umaandar sa thinking process mo? How does this translate into song? Yung, how can prayer be translated into song, Father?
Hindi ko alam, Romar, how to answer that question. Hindi ko alam eh. So, how do when I write a song, it's based on my prayer. But I do not pray in order to write a song. If I'm asked to write a song for ordination, na ganyan, Ignatius Day, and then I pray. But it's not like I have a prayer life, I pray every day, and then I do not sit down and say, this prayer whatever I have whatever the Spirit leads me, wherever the Spirit leads me, I will make into a song. Di ganun eh.
Opo.
Usually they ask me to write a song for some occasion, and that I pray over. Yan.
Ano po mga example ng ganun pong nangyari?
Ordinations, usually kailangan nila ng bagong psalm. Ignatius Day, kailangan nila ng psalm.
Yung mga, yung mga province-wide.
Big masses. So, doon ako magdadasal para kung anong...
Curious question, may specific song in mind po kayo na ganun po talaga yung nangyari din?
Yeah. Novice ako nun, Romar. Tapos, Good Friday nun.
Yeah.
We took care of all the masses in the novitiate then. So, but si Father Jess Lucas, God rest his soul, gusto niya lahat ng salmo, kinakanta. Ayaw niya ng recited psalm. So, Good Friday nun, hindi ang liturgical committee namin hindi assigned for Easter Vigil. So, naka-rest na kami. And my novice mates said, Arnel, kailangan namin ng kanta for Easter Sunday. That was Good Friday afternoon. I had to come up with a song for Easter Sunday, 6:30 Mass, a.m. So I had to cook up a psalm for Easter Sunday on Good Friday.
That was...
Paano ka magdadasal ng Easter sa Good Friday?
Oo nga po eh.
And very soon after that. Awa ng Diyos, lumabas yung ito ang araw.
Ang araw. It was the day na lumabas ang itong araw. In just a day. Or almost.
Well, almost 24 hours.
24 hours.
Lumabas. Since then, Romar, parang I work better when there's pressure, when there's urgency. Kaya yung tinatanong nyo, pinadala nyo sa akin yung questions, diba? What inspires you to write a song? Hindi inspiration mostly sa akin eh.
Pressure.
Urgency.
Kailangan
namin ng kanta sa ganitong misa.
Okay, there's a memory coming back. Nasa RVSU po ako before. Hindi po ako nag-RVSU candidacy, pero nag-Jesuit ano tawag yun? Yung Jesuit vocation. VDP nung isang time. And I think isa po kayo sa speakers nun. You were, urgency. You were talking about Between. Tama po ba?
Yes.
Pwede po share lang po para
Yung album ng 𝑽𝒂𝒂𝒚, kailangan nila na isang Christmas song. Kailangan nila at a certain time kasi re-record na nila. Or ipapa-arrange pa kay Norman.
Yeah.
So Norman, Jandy, myself, the first 𝑽𝒂𝒚, we were together in college and we set it up. Okay. So hindi ako makahindi. Yun. Lumabas yung Between.
Isang mapayapang gabi, uminang ang marikit na bituin.
In a matter of ilang days po yun.
Hindi ko alam, but it was an urgent request.
Pero gets po yung urgency, no? Minsan doon talaga tayo mapupush at mapupush.
Adrenaline siguro, Romer, hindi ko alam.
But in terms of yun nga, so it's urgency and then there's prayer involved and then doon po lumalabas yung in terms of music po, Father, sino po yung mga inspiration po pagdating sa yung sa style, sa pagsulat?
Manaling.
Father Manaling po.
Kasi magkasama kami ng Manaling sa college, first and second year, before he entered. Batchmates kami ni Manaling, Jandy, Norman, etc. All that.
Tapos, Bukas Palad din po.
Bukas Palad came when Manaling was in the novitiate and we were in 𝒂𝒂𝒚. We were a caroling group. Tapos meron sa aming sa 𝒂𝒂𝒚, meron kaming group na mahilig kami kumanta. So we formed a group to sing at weddings of alumni who get married. And that became Bukas Palad. Tapos sabi ni Father Joel Tabora, pwede kayong mag-recording fundraising natin para sa Kristong Hari Church.
Dito po kayo nag-recording nun?
Hindi, sa Communications Foundations for Asia, CFA. Yan. Ano yung question mo ulit?
About Bukas Palad, na curious lang din po ako doon din po nag-start. Kasi influences po eh. Yung influences sa inyong pagtugtog, sa style,
yes. Po. So ang influences is si Manaling Norman. Manaling Norman Jandy. Yes. Because they wrote beautiful songs and modern pa yung tingin ko sa kanilang chords. So,
pero before anything secular, like mga Beatles, yung mga ganyan, wala po talaga, love songs na ano?
Movie themes.
Really?
I tend to gravitate towards listening to the music of movies. Yan.
Like what movie? Curious lang po ako.
Hindi ko na alam. Hindi ko alam kung alam mo
Baka
pa.
alam ko po.
Tayo, hindi mo alam.
Subukan natin. Magkano po ibubusta na?
Yung On Golden Pond, si Dave Grusin was one of my favorite composers, Dave Grusin. And the iconic movie that he wrote songs for was On Golden Pond.
Okay.
It's a beautiful movie of aging and dying. Ang ganda ng score. Yung ganong klase. Alam yan ng mga generation ko.
At saka yung mga manonood din po.
Hindi mo alam na. Yes.
Kunwari alam ko na lang po.
Sige.
Kasi ako, yung ang inspiration po sila John Williams, yung mga ganyan po.
Ano na yan, later
Mga year
na.
2000 na po
Magaling
yun.
si John Williams.
Po.
Sure.
I remember po, Father, back when I was in college, no, pressure ako kasi alam kong kayo po yung mag-misa po nun. ACMG po. Ako nung college. Tugtog ako nung ano po yun yung...
Sa Daily Mass.
Sa Daily Mass po. So I would listen to their homilies, etc. And I remember this homily about Magis. I asked you to send yung not hubris. Yun, I remember that po. Pero anyway, yung naalala ko lang, tugtog ako ng piano nung dun sa ano po. And then after tugtog, during the after the mass, lapit ako po sa inyo. Tapos I think nag-confession din po ako. Tapos biglang sabi niyo, I like the chords you put in between. Kasi I jazz up some of the songs sometimes. So, it's just something that I clearly remember po. Ito pong tanong po, Father, is more of for music ministers, no? Like myself, I'm also a music minister, tumutugtog din po ako. For music ministers like myself, and perhaps sa mga manonood, how do we perhaps draw the line, or is there a line, no, between performing versus yung service po, Father? Gusto ko po yun na po ang ating sagot.
Yes.
Po.
Palayaw lahat ng musikero na tumutugtog sa Misa Romar, dumadaan dun sa phase na gusto ko mapansin ang tugtog ko. Lahat tayo dumadaan dun. Kaya nga tayo nagpa-practice, kaya natin pinapaganda yung pagtugtog natin kasi let's be honest about ourselves. We have a desire to be noticed. But we hope it's just a phase. And then after that phase, we do service. Nakakatago kasi tayo. We hide behind saying, but this is ministry.
Opo, yeah.
I'm playing for a ministry. But we know deep inside that yes, we're doing something, we're being of service to the church through music, but there's a lot of ego involved also. At dumadaan tayong lahat ng musika. Palagay ko dumadaan tayo nun. Sana, pag dumaan na yung phase na yon, pinaparamdam sa atin ng Diyos, anak, okay ka na. Okay ka na sa phase na yon. Pwede na tayong mag-service na. Service lang, para tutugtog ka lang, para kumanta ang mga tao ng panalangin nila sa Diyos. Sana, dumako tayo doon. Alam mo, Romar, palagay ko, I think you're a musician, you're old enough to know as a musician that there's a kind of playing na naririnig mo yung mga pianista o organista that they're trying to call attention to themselves. Even in singing, di ba? Alam mo ang choir, gusto nilang mapansin sila. Merong ganong sound Or may mga soloista sa simbahan na pag kumanta sila, nagre-recital ka.
Yeah.
Pero syempre hindi mo sila mapapaamin. Di ba? Syempre, alam nga naman i-confront. Hindi naman. No?
Opo.
Pero sana phase yon. Kasi lahat tayo dumadaan sa phase na yon. Parang, I want to be recognized for what I do, church. Sana dumaan tayo sa phase na yon. Pagkatapos ng selflessness na. Do all musicians and choir members outgrow that phase? I don't know. But hopefully we do.
I think bunga din dapat yun ng self-awareness, no, Father?
Tsaka brutal self-honesty. At dun galing yung buntong hininga ko.
Opo.
Kasi, syempre, pag pare ka, you celebrate Mass in churches, you hear the kind of singing and the kind of playing. Okay lang sa akin kung maraming mali, Romar eh. Basta nararamdaman ko na music ministry ito, na they're trying their best to get the people to sing along with them.
Yes, opo.
Pero may mga koro at may mga instrumentalist napakagagaling.
Sobra.
Sobra. Pero, maririnig ko na parang ayaw niyong kumanta yung mga tao, ano? Gusto niyong makinig lang sila. Yun. And that breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Lalo na if they sing songs that the people do not know. Eh kasi misa to, kailangan kumakanta tayong lahat. Hindi yung, may part na choir lang, tapos makikinig lang yung tao. And that occurs more and more in the churches, sadly.
Yeah, that happens a lot po. Even in the dioceses that I know. Yeah. Opo. And I think walang ibang makakasabi nun. Minsan kasi, they're full of themselves and then hindi po makikinig na rin eh. Yung mga ganun. So,
hirap pagsabihan yun Hirap sabihan yun.
At least,
kasi wala kang proof eh. Diba? Feel yun eh.
Totoo. Yeah, I think I've noticed it. And brutal self-awareness, Father. Minsan may ganyan din ako. Diba? Parang,
dumat ako.
Aminado din po ako pagdating sa ganyan. Let's talk about yung buhay, yung Ignatian values naman po, Father. Pagdating sa Ignatian values, ano yung sa palagay ninyong napapractice na Ignatian values like magis or whatnot mo po pagdating sa pag-compose ng isang kanta?
I was not aware of it. If there were any values that go into, Ignatian values that go into songwriting. Until 2 weeks ago. Fellow Jesuit, si Bien, scholastic si Bien. Sabi niya, Father, yung mga kanta ninyo, mostly finding God in all things, no? And I realized, oo nga, no? Finding God in all things. Hindi ko man napansin yun. So, pinaalam lang sa akin na ang dating sa kanya, yung Ignatian ideal of finding God in all things, but I wasn't aware of it. So, if that had not happened, I wouldn't know how to answer your question right now.
Or I would have told you yung si Cara David. Si Cara David, we also interviewed Cara David a few weeks ago. And then
somebody sent me a clip.
Yeah, I think that's from me. Buhay. Opo, yung Jesus ng aking buhay. It was from our interview with Cara David.
Sikat ng umaga, buhos ng ulan.
Tuloy niyo pa po.
Diba? As in talagang ako, this is my song. Ito ako. Pero sulat nun.
I think Father Arnel Aquino yun.
Yun, Father Arnel Aquino. Sabi ko, ang kapal ng mukha ko, pero sabi ko, grabe. Siguro nakita ni Father Arnel yung buhay ko. Tapos ito yung sabi ko, wow!
And then she told na parang, hindi ko naman alam na ito yung tugtog, pero yung trabaho ko, nandun sa second verse ng Jesus ng aking buhay.
Which tao, is,
opo, yung mga tao.
I love the Cara David documentaries. Yes. So shout out kay Cara.
Shout out po
Thank you, Cara. Yes.
Kay Cara na kung nanonood po. Ito po si Father Arnel.
Si Cara David, yung documentaries ni Cara David, ang pinapanood ko nung pandemic.
Really?
Opo. Sobrang inspired ako kay Cara David.
Ops, teka, wait lang. Abangan ang aming susunod na episode ni Father Arnel Aquino dito sa Mama's Boys.
Abangan sa susunod na episode.
Ang imagination natin, siguro hindi lahat ng tao, pero most of us Catholics think of Jesus as fully divine. Si Jesus, fully human.
Nakakalimutan po natin yan.
Nakalimutan natin. He's like us in all things but sin. Oh, in all things. In all things but sin.
Pero yung, anong mga choirs po yung mga naturuan niyo po, Father?
Yung Atska, CLC, Bukas Palad, 𝑻𝒍 𝒂𝒂𝒚, my longest. Tinig Barangka.
Yung Tinig Barangka?
Yung community choir natin sa high school, kami ni Father RB ang nagbuo nun. Community choir, teachers, students.
Yes, opo.
So wherever I went, kung saan ako ma-assign, nagsiset up ako ng community choir.